未来洗联储还 HDO 洗币会别人抢着来成为国家流通的货币。接下来被国家认可、主权认可、主权流通，甚至大的这沼泽地控制的金融集团流通，这是一定会发生的。
Good morning. Welcome to episode number 13 of Crypto News Talk. I'm not sure whether my first part has been cut off. I'll start again. Good morning. Welcome to episode 13 of Crypto News Talk. My name is Bindi.
Hey, and happy Labor Day. I'm Jesse. Well, it's Labor Day here in Australia. And as we all know, for those who are laboring and weary, you know who to go to. Surfers, if you surf, like I try to surf, you got to bite your time, right? You cannot labor your own labor because you got to watch the wave. So bite your time because something interesting is going to happen financially, and that's why we bring you news. For example, in Paris, right under the Eiffel Tower, Mr. Jerome Powell says stablecoin reserve must be publicly transparent. So the Federal Reserve Chair has been discussing, what are the roles, the roles of central banks, or what is it that they could play in tokenizing finance. All right, the Federal Chair was joined by European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde, right? And then Managing Director of MAS, all right, our dear MAS, Monetary Authority of Singapore, Mr. Ravi Menon, and then the Bank of the BIS, right, Bank of International Settlements. So these are big shots. General Manager, Augustine Custons, and today what they wanted to do was to discuss, right, the rapidly growing crypto sector, the economy. Are they losing control or they are reigning in control? Interesting. Anyway, during the hour-long segment, all right, so the group discussed several topics, including the DeFi, stablecoins. Stablecoins has been in the forefront now, right? And central bank digital currencies, of course, CBDCs. But however, what they are focusing their discussion on this time round has been the cryptocurrency regulations. So when asked if private sector stablecoins such as Circle's USDC or Tether's USDT, when asked was if all this should be regulated similarly to current bank deposits and money market funds, Mr. Powell agreed that the instruments share some similarities. A big however and but ensue. He says, however, the stablecoin need strict regulation. Strict. Key operative word there, regulation. Of course, the other word you should pay attention to. This is to ensure that these stablecoins are sufficiently backed, citing the general public's tendency to view stablecoins as dollar equivalent. Mega trend. How glorious. Over to you, Bendy.
Okay, I'm going to bring you news number 2, talking about USDC stablecoin. So USDC stablecoin, we have a company that is behind it, that's Circle. Circle is a company behind USDC, which is the world's second largest stablecoin. Now, the company has announced on Wednesday that it will soon be making USDC available on 5 additional blockchains, which are Arbitrum, Cosmos, NEAR and EAR, Optimism, and Polkadot. And this is in addition to other cross-chain transport protocols, which are Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, Polygon, Tron, Algotran, Flow, Hedera, and Stellar. Now, why do we have 14 blockchains? What does it make USDC? When you have all this cross-chain transfer protocol streamlined, that will make USDC cross across more networks and making more USDC compatible blockchains. It will make transfer of USDC better, smoother, faster. It will make USDC more popular. That's the whole point. So what does this mean? Extending multi-chain support for USDC opens the door for institutions, exchanges, developers, and more innovative, and to have easier access to trusted and stable digital dollar. So is USDC going to be more popular? We'll see. Okay, moving on to topic number 2, we will have the video. Director, please. Could we have the video, please?
What is a cryptocurrency wallet? Simply put, a crypto wallet is a tool you can use to interact with a blockchain network. The various kinds of wallets can be divided into 3 main groups: software, hardware, and paper wallets. But depending on their working mechanisms, they may also be referred to as hot or cold wallets. So how do they work? Contrary to popular belief, crypto wallets don't really store cryptocurrencies. Instead, they work as a sort of gateway, providing the tools you need to communicate with a blockchain. In other words, these wallets can generate all the information you need to use cryptocurrencies. Let's take a simple example. Imagine that Alice wants to build a brand new Bitcoin wallet to receive a payment from Bob. The easiest way for her to do that is to use a crypto wallet program. When Alice creates a new wallet, the program generates multiple pairs of public and private keys, along with several blockchain addresses. But to simplify, let's consider only one pair of keys and a single address. First, the program calculates the pair of keys, one public key and one private key. Next, the public key is used to generate a unique Bitcoin address. This is the address Alice needs to provide Bob. Bob then sends Bitcoins from his wallet to Alice's wallet. Note that the coins never leave the blockchain. They are just transferred from one address to another. While it's safe for Alice to share her Bitcoin address with others, she should never disclose her private key to anyone. The private key is used for signing new transactions and is what gives access to her funds. So even if Alice loses her computer or smartphone, she can use the private key to access her coins in any other device. She may even use a different wallet. But this also means that if anyone gets to know Alice's private key, they can steal her funds. Alice can also use her private key to recover her public key and blockchain addresses. Basically, the private key precedes all the other components, and that's why it's the most important element of a cryptocurrency wallet. In practice, however, most modern wallets make use of a seed phrase. Seed phrases can be used to generate multiple private keys. So, instead of making a backup of each private key in her wallet, Alice only needs to back up the wallet's seed phrase. In other words, the seed phrase works like a root key. It gives access to all keys and addresses in Alice's wallet. Now that we covered the basics, let's explore the different types of crypto wallets. As mentioned, cryptocurrency wallets may be defined as hot or cold, according to the way they operate. A hot wallet is any wallet that is connected somehow to the internet. For example, when Alice creates an account on Binance and sends funds to her wallet, she is depositing into Binance's hot wallet. Hot wallets are convenient for traders and frequent users because they are easy to set up, and the funds are quickly accessible. On the other hand, cold wallets tend to be a much safer alternative for Alice to store her bitcoins because they have no connection to the internet. Instead, they use a physical medium to store the keys offline, and this makes them very resistant to hackers. This method is also known as cold storage and is particularly suitable for long-term investors. When it comes to the 3 main groups of crypto wallets, there are software, hardware, and paper wallets. Software wallets come in at least 3 different types: web wallets, desktop wallets, and mobile wallets. A web wallet allows Alice to interact with a blockchain via a browser interface, so she doesn't need to download or install anything on her computer. In contrast, a desktop wallet is a software Alice needs to download and execute locally in her machine. In general, desktop wallets are considered safer than web wallets. Lastly, we have mobile wallets, which work much like a desktop wallet, but are designed specifically as mobile apps. These are the ones Alice can use on her smartphone, giving her convenient access to her funds. Trust Wallet is a prominent example of a mobile crypto wallet. It supports multiple cryptocurrencies, and it is also integrated with the Binance decentralized exchange. Most software wallets are somehow connected to the internet, so they may also be referred to as hot wallets. What about hardware wallets? Hardware wallets are physical, electronic devices that use a random number generator, RNG, to generate public and private keys. The keys are stored in the device itself, without any connection to the internet. As such, hardware wallets may present a secure alternative for cold storage, especially for long-term holders. But funds stored in hardware wallets tend to be less accessible, making them somewhat inconvenient to traders and frequent users.
Yep, so as a novice, we do need all the assistance, and let's try to unpack this a tad bit. A crypto wallet, of course, as the video has illustrated for us, is a tool, really a tool that you can use to interact with the blockchain network, right? There are various networks out there, so these are helpful, and there are various type of wallet types. As the video has shed light on the software, which are what we call the hot wallet, hardware, which is the cold wallet, and then of course you have the paper one. Now, depending on your objectives and your usage behavior, whichever you are more comfortable with, some people have both. Seldom there's three. There's a reason for it. Like software wallets, they are more convenient, of course, than hardware wallets, right? Because so long you have uplink and the downlink, which is your internet, and hardware wallets tend to be, of course, for a lot of us, the safer option with all the hacking that's going on now. Now, a rather now considered obsolete and unreliable or outdated one is the paper wallet, which it really means is your wallet printed on a piece of paper. I still like my paper,
Me
but
too.
not a paper one. Yeah, and I don't even have a wallet, all right, as in a physical wallet. Now, all right, Bindi, can you illustrate for us, illuminate for us how cryptocurrency wallets work, please?
Okay, contrary to popular belief, your crypto wallet actually doesn't store the digital asset. What it does is it generates the necessary information to send and receive cryptocurrency through blockchain transaction. So if we can go on to PowerPoint 2-1. So talking about public key and private key. So public key is equivalent to your bank account code or an account number, whereas that's the public key, and the private key is what it takes to approve the transaction. So to approve a transaction, you need to have your private key in your wallet, whereas the public key is what you give, is like you giving a bank account and account code to your friend to transfer you information. Now, want to pass the time back to Jesse to tell us more about how crypto is traded.
All right, and to do that, actually, of course, you need to store, and to be able to trade cryptocurrency, you need an address, right? A wallet like your account, your trading account. It's the same thing. You need, in this instance, you do need a wallet address. So a hot wallet which is provided by your crypto exchanges, whoever you trade with, and you can have multiple ones, and then of course you have mobile wallets, installed on your phone. You have desktop wallet, and then you have browser extension wallets, or hardware wallets, which we will share with you in a little bit more. Now, there are different types of cryptos wallets, yeah, and for example, the hot wallet, like we say, it has to be connected to the internet. All right, mobile wallets, web-based wallet, and then desktop wallets. All this, however, are vulnerable. They're vulnerable to online attacks, to cyber attacks, that is, and it depends on the safety, the cyber safety of the exchanges that actually host this. So they are vulnerable to hacking. But however, they are easy and convenient to use, compared to a cold wallet, right, which is kept offline. So, be your paper or your hardware wallet, and then we have the biometrics one coming up, very cool. And then what happened is, because it's kept offline, right? There is an air gap there. Therefore, there's less threat from hacking or cyber attacks. That being said, it is more expensive. It is less convenient. So these essentially are the two types of crypto wallets. Software-based hot wallet, and then you have the fiscal cold wallet. I like the word fiscal cold wallet because it sounds like cold hard cash. All right, even though we are transiting now into a different era. So the main difference really between the hot wallet and the cold wallet is their accessibility. Hot wallet are connected to the internet, so making your funds more vulnerable to hacking. I know we are belabeling the point, but that's really important, right? Meaning, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So if you can play PPT 2.3, please, producer. All right. So which which wallet is the best for you? It depends on how you want your funds to be available. Short-term liquid fund, and then the illiquid one, you could be thinking like, okay, it's like a long-term deposit type. So investing for long term, your funds are kept, best to be kept safe, offline wallet actually. But remember where you kept the wallet. over to you, Bindi, the custodial and maybe what's the non-custodial.
Custodial and non-custodial wallet is another way of describing cold and hot wallet. With custodial wallet, as expected, it means that the custodian has control over your fund. This is equivalent to your hot wallet. Less secure, keys are kept by a third party. Accounts can be recovered in case of lost keys. That is only if you have what do you call private chain. Public chain, I think it is almost never. Nobody will be able to. Once you lose your keys, that's it, man. Transaction fees are comparable to comparative lesser, but non-custodian wallet will be if you lose control over your funds, you have total control over your funds, like your private keys and everything else. Accounts cannot be recovered in case of lost keys. That's why when you open an account, they always say, make sure that you don't lose your keys. And we have heard stories about people losing their private keys, people having a lot of Bitcoins and lost their private keys. And there's only that many times you can try to recover your keys, and almost never, because the keys are so long. And you bear complete control. You bear the complete transaction cost, transaction fee, custodial, non-custodial. Now, if we go on to the list of hacked crypto exchanges, you can. There is actually a particular website called hedgewithcrypto.com, where you can actually see a complete updated list of crypto exchanges which have been hacked. I'm only going to mention it. The list is very long. I'm just going to mention three other of the well-known ones. Crypto.com, they lost 34 million. Binance lost some money. Apparently, it was recovered later on. Polynix was another one which I know of on the list. Of course, like I said, the list is very long, very long, and these are not even the biggest amount. Some of the biggest ones are like 560 million lost. Whether they are recovered or not, I do not know. But maybe if you scroll the account, scroll that particular website, you'll find out a little bit more. So we're going to move on to topic number 3, talking about Australian senator.
Yeah.
Hand over the time to Jesse.
Thanks. Yeah, there's this draft bill, that's aimed specifically at stablecoin digital yuan regulation. Whoa, digital yuan regulation. It's a bit far, but that's really interesting, guys. All right, it's by this Australian senator, actually, Senator Mr. Andrew Burke. Now he released a new draft bill aimed at regulating crypto exchanges, stable coins, which have shown not to be so safe due to over leverages. So be careful when people say it is a stable coin. You do want to check, make sure that we read the white paper. And then of course the China's CBDC, yuan, right? ECNY. And why this boggles me? I'm a bit gobsmacked because here we are in Australia and we are already talking about a bill at regulating digital yuan regulations, which means is it are you telling me that they are going to accept digital?
Looks like it.
Looks like it, exactly. So he's saying, oh, you know what, Australia must keep pace with the global race for regulation, boys and girls, all right, on digital assets. So it is essential that the parliament drives law reform on this matter. So we didn't have a tax reform, but we're gonna have a law reform on digital assets. Well done, boys. So the new draft is titled Digital Assets. What a nice sounding word. Market Regulation Bill 2022. And it calls for introduction of licenses, which means, pay me money and I'll give you a license for digital asset. Now, I'm not throwing stones at you, you're right, Senator. I think it's a good thing, all right, that you're doing something protecting us, okay? Digital asset exchanges, digital asset custodian services. Yeah, of course, then you have stablecoins issuers, right? And then of course, what are the disclosure requirements for facilitators, the yuan in Australia, coming to a screen near you, coming to a shop near you. Bindi, why, pray tell us, what's the objective of this act?
Well, the objective, of course, if we can move on to the next slide, Director. Yes, of course, the objective is effective regulatory framework. Everything, the government is all about control, isn't it? They just need to control this space, purportedly to protect consumers, as always. But it is also another way of saying that, with all this, we just need to know, I think, push out some competition, because Australia is also having our own CBDC. As to whether it will take off or not is another thing. But whatever it is, it's just like how they want to control your food chain. They want to control how monetary supply is working, and what other currencies, digital assets are being introduced, and hence it's all about regulation. Is a regulatory framework to make sure that only those people that they are meeting the standards will get to play the game. Now let's move on to talk about Jerome again. Back to Jerome Powell in the what he has been saying in the International Crypto Conference. Jesse, over
Yeah.
to you.
All right. Yeah, Mr. Jerome has been really busy and hogging the limelight, I suppose. All right. At the recent International Crypto Conference, of course, the chairman Powell actually said, that his insights on this digital bank, or on the central bank digital currency, right, the CBDC. Now he's saying that the U.S. digital dollar would need to be number one, intermediated. Two, it has to be there is privacy protected, and then there is identity verification, privacy protection, and then identity verification was transferable. Now, I don't know if it's confusion here or they have actually provide a clarity for us, because he said, the Fed has no immediate plans to launch a digital dollar. All right, they don't have such a plan. They said any such currency would need approval from the Congress. And I thought this really provides clarity for us, because the Fed, doesn't need to issue or to plan to launch a digital dollar, because they can control it, right? So the push for stablecoins continues. The push for stablecoins regulation that is continuous. And because we as the net of optics and the narratives that we have heard, there's a lot of incidents that investors, mom and pops, they have lost money, and so henceforth they have lose confidence in certain dollar pack assets, if it's considered an asset, right? The collapse of the back Terra USD stablecoin. In fact, I don't know why is it termed a stablecoin in the first place, but anyhow, we move along. There is more than 40 billion of value within a short span of a few days. Those will wipe out. So we call it a bloodbath. Yep, it is a bloodbath. And henceforth, the confidence, right, in this USDC, the USDT stablecoins has dropped off the cliff, right, when it imploded. So the chairman's Powell's comment did indicate that there is a growing desire from whom to regulate these private stablecoins. Some are up in arms in the cryptocurrency world. Of course, they are still going to push ahead. There's a comprehensive stablecoin bill that seems likely to be the first major US crypto legislation to be written into law. So what we are seeing is it used to be a $3 trillion market compared to the stock market of 100 trillion. Now it's about 1 trillion, but it is important enough for legislation to be written into law, which then tells you this will be a mega trend. They don't flock a dead horse. All right. So Bindi, you have any comments on the importance of these regulations?
Okay, of course, we know that recently the crypto market crashed. And of course, many CEOs of in the crypto space has also resigned. To recount those who have resigned, you have Voyager, Celsius, Terra, MicroStrategy, Compute North. So these are all the CEOs who have resigned. Of course, you have also other ones who have been prosecuted. So when can government regulate cryptocurrencies? Government need to protect consumers. Again, talking about protecting consumers, promoting investment and protecting our interests, really. The good news is that government around the world are now working hard to get regulations written into law. So on one hand, they talk about protection. On the other hand, really, like I said, it is all about control. It is all about beating out competition. Whoever who is going to compete with CBDC will get regulated. So that at the end of the day, hopefully the CBDC will be the final one standing. But is that going to be the case? Maybe not, because we are going to see H-coin to the moon. So over to you, Jesse.
Sure. Yep. All right. So, producer, can you play the Mr. Mousecore's video, please? This is rather illuminating. A lot of smoking guns in there.
比特币绝对是伊朗、共产党、俄罗斯最多的，包括华尔街几个老流氓，哈哈，这些所有的你看到这些市场数字货币，真的都是他们的。七哥那天爆料，马上比特币、以太币哐哐的往下跌。我最起码有5个渠道证明了我爆的料是真实的，啊，我愿意负责任。普京先生可以来告我，我可以给你在任何情况下，你敢有种邀请我，现在普京要在公开场合说，麦奥斯郭，我邀请你来莫斯科，给我当场作证，我现在去你莫斯科，是吧？找一个第三方验钢。我就问这些在联合国开会的70届大会的人，我说你相信洗币会怎么样？所有人都认为洗币只要这样下去，一定会成为世界上最流行的数字货币。数字货币一样，你有科技是吗？科技多了，你发试试，有人买你的吗？第二个说我有钱我有投资，我有成本我有现金，我有 capital 我可以让发展数字货币。沙特 UAE 沙特是可以给大家讲故事有油的地方。UAE 是全世界拥有信用现金最多的国家，然后就是瑞士。他发货币，他有人买吗？你发试试。他们真的发主权货币，没人买。数字货币不是主权货币能买的，是主权加技术，这是第2条。第3个，光有主权加技术还不行，你还得有什么大家知道，还有在世界上最重要的信用的信字，还有再加上你的逻辑设计新中国联邦拥有什么？新中国联邦所发展的货币和大家的合作，第一，有7个几十年过去积累的信用，而不是主权信用。第2，那些有7个这样信用的人，他没有主权信用，7个能找来主权信用可能第3，他们有的科技我们都能拿来用，我们拥有这样的科技。最重要的事情，数字货币的信字还有一个未来期望值升值的空间，或者稳定的空间。我们运用了全世界上任何国家没有的几个元素，就是未来任何洗币我就想问他们，任何的还有躺平币，中国这个天空链它能挡住吗？它挡不住。有1亿人口加入到洗币，你告诉我什么概念
？We did say this is rather illuminating, and there's a lot of smoking guns in there. So in his broadcast, and we know the time is the best witness. All right, track records often speaks for itself. So we are looking back of what he has said actually, and he has been proven true. You know, he's saying that look, Bitcoin and Ethereum are literally controlled. Right, majority of them are controlled by Iran and the Communist Party of China, by Russia, and of course a few fat cats, the over greedy capitalists of the Wall Streets. So he's telling us this is cartel. So in fact, he did give us a percentage, even though it's fluctuating. You know, he even give a percentage about 96% or 86% to 96% are controlled by this group of people. And when you have control of this, you know, a group that is that people are using, or you know, nefarious forces are using. So what happened is, when he broke the news on Mr. Putin's cancer of the rectum, squamous cancer, all right, Bitcoin and Ethereum took a haircut and fell accordingly. Interesting. And number 2, smoking guns. He did ask, all right, people, he said, in the 77th United Nations General Assembly, so what do you reckon what the future holds for H-coin? In fact, I think what he's asking is, H-coin is the front facing, is the whole architect and the infrastructure behind that. Because unbeknownst to a lot of our audience, the whole system has been under a lot of attack. But because it's military grade, it has withstood the test. All right. And what he's really saying here is what the future holds. He's really asking the question, in my opinion, do you reckon this is the mega trend? This mega trend is something that you cannot, because it's like a funneling effect, right? You cannot stop this because it's a mega trend. Like like in the days post telex, we have the fixed fax machine and then the smartphones. Henceforth, the adoption rate, and interesting thing, because when we look at what the adoption curve will be like, we're going through, asking ourselves, what are the factors, what are the factors, the drivers that will push this adoption rate. CBDC, central banks, is one which caught me like, oh wow. So that's where it's going to come from. Henceforth, we are going to expect adoption rate to have a steep exponential curve also. And so he's asking them, and many of them are of the belief that, according to the trends presented, H-coin is bound to be the most popular digital currency in the world. Now, that's a big statement. Most popular means it's not only in usage, you have the velocity, and you know what it does to the value of the digital currency. And Bindi, what's your view on this?
Now, I think three things which sets H-coin apart from every other cryptocurrency or even CBDC, like Miles said, that it doesn't mean that just because you have the technology and you are a sovereign nation and you issue a CBDC, people will use it. Most important thing is credibility. A lot of sovereign nations have lost credibility, but Miles has a lot of credibility, even akin to sovereign nations. So he even mentioned that Switzerland has come out with CBDC. Does it mean that the CBDC from Switzerland is going to be accepted? Not necessarily. What about Australia? Not necessarily. But Miles Guo, in 30 years of his career, has accumulated a lot of credibility, even akin to that of a sovereign nation. There's a lot of trustworthiness. So when it is being trusted, when Miles Guo is being trusted, even though he doesn't own anything in Himalaya Exchange, he doesn't own any H-coin, his trustworthiness is akin to that of a sovereign nation. And when CCP is being taken down, we are going to have minimum 10% of the Chinese population using Himalaya coin. Then it itself is 100 million. You're talking about 1 billion of population rather than 1.4. You're going to have 100 million users in China hopping on to the wagon train of HCN. That sets HCN apart from every other CBDC in the world. This is more than how many times? 3 times more than Australia, the entire Australian population. So that and of course Switzerland, I don't know what is the population of Switzerland. It can't be that many. So you can see that HCN is going to be just that alone. One factor alone is going to be setting H-coin apart from everybody else. Secondly, of course, just like what Jesse has mentioned, Himalaya Exchange has military-grade security. So military-grade security just means that it's not going to be susceptible to hacking like the other exchanges or even the other CBDC issuers. Just these 2 points alone. And of course, we have a very strict KYC. And as mentioned by Mrs. Morgan during the 2nd anniversary celebration of New Federal State of China, says that HCN is the cleanest and most cleanest of all money in the world. So I just want to bring up these 3 points and conclude today's session. Jesse, if you have nothing else, we will conclude this session with some ads, some commercials.
Up to the moon we go, H-coin.
So we have just a few points. Chinese program, Sunday, 8:30 Sydney time. And English program, remaining Monday, Sydney time, 12 noon. Only because we are announcing this, only because there's a change of to summertime now. Beijing is now 3 hours from Sydney time. Thank you, Director Zhongli Su, and thank you very much the team that's behind all the production of this program. Thank you very much.
Yep. Heads off. Thank you. Have a good day.